We're staying on top of news out of the Philippines this morning. Typhoon Haiyan has barreled through that region, claiming thousands of lives. 24-hour News 8's Coco McAvoy is live in studio for us this morning. So, Coco, what's the latest on this storm?
Mark, we've been checking the wires this morning, and unfortunately, the death toll continues to rise. We're learning as many as 10,000 people are believed to be dead in one Philippine city alone. This dramatic video shows you just how powerful this typhoon is. The storm ripped through 6 central Philippine islands Friday. Officials say sea waters rose 20 feet when the typhoon hit. There are still towns that have not been reached because power has been knocked out and there is no cell phone signal, which means the only means of communication is by radio. The Philippines doesn't have the resources on its own to deal with a disaster of this magnitude. The U.S. Embassy in Manila issued a disaster declaration to provide $100,000 for relief efforts immediately. There are a number of agencies that are helping with this disaster, so here's how you can help. The United Nations World Food Program, UNICEF, and the Red Cross are just a few agencies that are asking for donations. The storm was headed for Vietnam, but has changed its course and seems to be headed for the northern coast. Authorities have evacuated nearly 100,000 people in 3 northern provinces. It's a story we will continue to follow. Live in studio, I'm Coco McAvoy, 24-hour News 8.
For more on the storm's path, let's bring Laura back in now. She's been tracking it for us this morning. So, Laura, that satellite image, pretty ominous, still behind you.
Yes, still is, and we're several days now after the very hard landfall that this storm made in the Philippines. But we're looking at the satellite imagery here. So the Philippine Islands off to the lower right-hand corner of your screen. You can see that big white blob. This is what was the super typhoon. It is now weakened to typhoon status. Here is Vietnam and then the southern provinces of China. It's going to eventually make a turn toward the north. And here's what that path looks like. Now, I mentioned it has begun to weaken. Sustained winds right around 90 miles an hour. So still a typhoon, gusts to 115 as it travels to the north, either making landfall on the northern coast of Vietnam or some of the southern provinces of China, becoming a tropical storm, or what we would call a tropical storm, and then quickly beginning to fade by the time we get to tomorrow afternoon. But certainly the damage here has already been done, and things could potentially get worse for parts of Vietnam and China before they improve.
Laura, thanks for that. Be sure to stay with 24-hour News 8 and woodtv.com for continuing coverage on Typhoon Haiyan. Coming up in our next half hour, we'll be showing you some new pictures of the damage taken by survivors of that storm.